Exactly 1 year ago, I remember writing down my New Year's resolutions for 2025, going into 2026. I'm not gonna go over all of them, but the three of them were to make £5,000 of profit by the end of 2025, going to 2026. The second being getting absolutely shredded by the end of 2025, and the third one being getting the highest possible grade, so an A+ in all of my exams by the end of 2025. And just to spoil the excitement, I didn't achieve any of them. To be fair, I didn't achieve any of them. With my physique, I was bulking up for a good amount of months, and I was trying to cut down, but I got sick, so I lost all the muscles that I gained from the bulk, so I had to restart, go over the bulk all over again. So that was a failure on my part. With the £5,000 profit goal, I was selling tech for a short amount of time on eBay, with some considerable success, but I couldn't scale up, so I didn't really work out at the end of the day. I was selling cold drinks with my brother in the summer of 2025, and it actually worked out reasonably well, to be fair. I was approaching random people asking if they wanted to buy cold drinks. Obviously we were kids, so then they trusted us a little bit more. We made a decent amount of profit. We didn't walk home with that much because we had to split the earnings between us two, so it works considerably, but could have been better. And with getting the highest possible grade, I didn't achieve that whatsoever. I didn't revise at all. I barely revised, didn't really pay attention in class, not doing enough studying when I was at home to reach towards that goal of achieving A+ for everything. I did learn some stuff, but for the most part I didn't get anywhere close to getting A stars, so that's completely on me for not achieving that. But if you're watching this video, I just want you to know that the failure is not you necessarily not achieving the goal. The failure is you not working towards it. The reason I say that is because usually when you work towards the goal, you believe that you're a video game character at the start of January, resetting yourself like a video game character, trying to be perfect, trying to achieve that goal fully to the fullest extent you can, which is obviously a good thing to do, but you working towards the goal, you're just by default you're gonna acquire the skills, you're gonna acquire knowledge, you're gonna make mistakes, which is actually a good thing because you're gonna learn what went wrong in your journey of achieving your goals, which is obviously gonna set you up for success in the future because you're not gonna make that mistake later on. So by default, it's a good thing to make mistakes, especially when it comes to achieving your New Year's goals, even if you don't end up achieving them at the end of the day, which is fascinating. With me training, I started going to the gym in 2024 of June, July time, so I was about 16 when that happened. Even if I didn't achieve my goal of getting shredded, I gained so much knowledge on how to track my calories, what to eat, what foods yield the most protein for my goals, how to do exercises properly, how to nail down my form. All of that just culminated into a perfect blueprint for me to get shredded for the next year, from 2026 to 2027. So that automatically is a plus in my book. Even if I didn't achieve it, it's still something that I can be proud of. With studying, of course, I didn't get anywhere close to achieving it, but I found out what exactly worked for me to absorb the knowledge for me to get the highest possible grade. So what exam techniques I could use, what studying techniques I could use to maximize my grades. Even if I didn't really work towards them, it still paid off to a certain extent. Maybe I'm being delusional, but it worked out to a certain extent. And we tried to think that missing a goal kills your confidence and achieving the goal is everything, when really killing your confidence is not even putting any effort into achieving the goal in and of itself. That is what kills you. That is what makes you into a loser. Working towards the goal is actually what brings you solace and happiness, not necessarily achieving the end goal. Like, for example, if you were to go to the gym and be absolutely shredded, the state of being shredded is not what gives you joy. The joy is actually working towards it. So doing the exercises, training with your friends, tracking your calories, working towards the goal of getting shredded is what actually gives you fulfillment in your life, not necessarily you achieving the goal. So the fact that you literally work towards the goal is what gave you long-term happiness, long-term glee, long-term fulfillment, even if you didn't end up achieving the goal at the end of the day. It's not a big deal. By restarting your New Year's resolutions, you're not starting smaller, you're starting sharper. You have refined techniques, you have refined goals, you have refined plans of action for you to achieve the same goals that you were supposed to achieve last year, which you're going to do for this year. So it's not a loss whatsoever for you to not achieve your goals. It's a victory that you work towards those. You accumulated the skills for you to achieve those goals, for you to become a better man, to walk home with a somewhat better physique, better business skills, better revision skills, better communication skills. There's nothing to be upset about if you didn't achieve your goals. Maybe the timeline wasn't realistic, maybe the plan wasn't great, maybe you underestimated how hard it would have been. But point is, you came back stronger, you have a better skill set, you put in the hard work. What is there to be upset about? You adjusted, you refined, you kept on going, and that's all that matters. And that is a much better place to be in, you know. Work hard. I'm watching you. I'm gonna make many more videos in the future. Yeah, peace out, guys.